In the serene town of Auburn Falls, October 13, 1999, stands as a chilling reminder that darkness can lurk in the most unsuspecting places. The gentle ebb and flow of this community was violently interrupted when Marjorie Holloway, a 30-year-old cherished high school teacher, was discovered lifeless in her home. On that day, Marjorie's absence from school caused a ripple of concern among her colleagues. She was known for her punctuality, so when the day wore on without any sign of her, worries intensified. It was Lydia Martin, a close friend, who made the gruesome discovery. Entering Marjorie's house, she found her friend's lifeless body on the living room floor, surrounded by a halo of blood. The eerie aspect of this tragedy was the absence of any visible signs of forced entry or a struggle, making the circumstances even more baffling. Initial investigations revealed Marjorie had died from a blunt force trauma to the head, but the weapon, nowhere to be found. Clues were limited. The remnants of an unfinished meal on her dining table hinted that Marjorie might have been sharing her last moments with someone she knew. But who? Her phone records didn't offer any leads, leaving the identity of this mysterious dinner guest a puzzle. Days turned into weeks, and the Auburn Falls Police Department, at a loss, sought assistance from the FBI. Profilers posited that Marjorie's attacker was likely someone she knew, pointing to the intimate nature of the crime. The proximity, the lack of defense wounds, it all suggested an emotionally charged motive. But even with this hypothesis, no clear suspects emerged from Marjorie's circle. It wasn't until 3 months later that a potential lead surfaced, an anonymous letter sent to the police. Its writer claimed knowledge of a shadowy figure seen loitering around Marjorie's residence prior to her murder. However, this lead fizzled out as quickly as it appeared. The described individual was never identified, and the anonymous tipster's claims couldn't be verified. As the years rolled on, Marjorie's murder became the stuff of local legend. Whispers among Auburn Falls youth speak of her restless spirit, still yearning for justice, haunting the now-abandoned home where she met her tragic end. To this day, Marjorie Holloway's death remains Auburn Falls' most haunting unsolved mystery. The absence of answers, the lack of closure, continues to cast a shadow on this town, reminding its residents of the enduring nature of some sinister enigmas.
In a world where love and passion run deep, sometimes the most mundane choices can lead to the most horrifying consequences. Today, we delve into the tale of Emily and Richard, a seemingly perfect couple, whose love story turned from enchanting to nightmarish over a simple choice of a movie. The city of Ashford was known for its peaceful neighborhoods where families thrived and evenings were filled with laughter. It was in this picturesque setting that Emily and Richard's love story bloomed. They met at a local cafe, exchanged stories over shared desserts, and promised to meet again. And as fate would have it, they soon found themselves deeply in love, sharing a home and countless dreams. But like any mosaic, tiny cracks in their relationship went unnoticed until they formed a ghastly pattern. For Emily, movies were more than just a pastime. They were an escape, a world where she sought solace, and in which she was deeply protective. As the months turned to years, Friday movie nights became a ritual for the couple. Emily's love for black and white classics was evident, as she believed they held a purity and innocence that modern films lacked. Richard, on the other hand, was fascinated by thrillers, each more sinister than the previous. One fateful evening, Richard decided to introduce Emily to a modern thriller, believing that it might be the bridge between their cinematic tastes. Little did he know, this would be a choice he would soon regret. The room dimmed as the opening credits rolled, with Richard settling into the plush couch, his attention riveted to the screen. As scenes of suspense and gore unfolded, Emily's discomfort grew palpable. Her fingers clenched the armrests, her knuckles white. Each scene seemed to amplify her distress, turning her internal turmoil into an unbearable cacophony. For Emily, this wasn't just a movie, it was an invasion, a violation of their sacred space, filled with scenes that tore away at her very soul. When Richard turned to her, laughing at a particularly twisted scene, he didn't notice the chilling stare that met his gaze. Emily's eyes, once filled with warmth, now harbored a tempest of rage. Richard could not have known that Emily's childhood was marred by trauma, where violent movies served as a backdrop to her real-life nightmares. And now, those memories, long buried, were being unearthed by the very man she loved. As the final scenes of the movie approached, Richard, still engrossed, failed to notice Emily leaving her seat. She moved with the grace of a specter, quietly making her way to the kitchen. The gleam of the knife rack caught her eye, reflecting the horrors of the screen and the storm brewing within her. In that sinister moment, the boundaries between reality and fiction blurred for Emily. Richard, still oblivious, let out a chuckle at the climax of the film, a sound that would soon be drowned by a scream. By the time the credits rolled, the room had transformed. The screen, once filled with fictional blood, now mirrored the grim reality that lay in front of it. Richard lay motionless, a victim of the very thrill he sought, while Emily stood over him, her silhouette merging with the shadows, the gleaming blade in her hand now drenched in the irony of life. The following morning, as the sun cast its first light, Ashford woke up to a chilling discovery. The city's emblem of love had turned into a grim tale of passion, obsession, and a tragic finale. The investigators pieced together the horrifying events of that night, leading to Emily's eventual arrest. Through her trial, her traumatic past came to light, painting a disturbing picture of a soul scarred by memories too dark to share, triggered by a seemingly innocent choice. In the end, what remained of this tragic tale was a haunting reminder that beneath the most serene exteriors, under layers of love and trust, there may lurk memories and fears powerful enough to shatter lives. A tale where a simple movie night became the reel of death. Join us next time as we explore another dark tale from the annals of history.